I grew up a PK, a preacher's kid. My dad was a Presbyterian minister. I was born into Christianity and never stopped. My wife and I have held practically every volunteer post a church has to offer, and some paid ones too, like youth leaders and choir director. I attended untold classes. I did my college language requirement in classical Greek so I could read the New Testament that way. So, why tell you all of this? Because I want this following statement to be as meaningful to you as possible. And here it is. During the last year of studying the Torah, first 5 books of the Old Testament, I have learned more about and have grown closer to God than in all my previous 60-some years. Sure, I could tell all the stories, but much of the wisdom that those stories taught went right past me. The Torah in Hebrew, is just as meaningful, truthful, wisdom-laden, and morally sound today as it's ever been. Oh, I know what you hear all the time. It's primitive, pro-slavery, revengeful, fire and brimstone, chauvinistic, sexist, and on and on. None of that is true. In fact, quite the opposite. Join me in this Torah group, and I'll show you. A key source for me, and therefore this group, is Dennis Prager's lectures and books on the Torah. Going through his lectures, tape after tape, it actually got to be kind of funny. Every verse or section that he would introduce in some superlative way, like, now this is fascinating, or this will blow your mind, or this is very challenging, but you'll love it, etc. When he'd do that, I'd often say to myself, yeah, right. And then, sure enough, it was fascinating. All the way. Genesis 1 through Deuteronomy 34. I mean, come on. Leviticus? Fascinating? Yes! We're going to go verse by verse. Over 5,800 of them. And I commit to approaching the Torah in these ways, as Prager does. 1, recognize that this is divine scripture. 2, be intellectually honest. And 3, think rationally. And, as often as possible, we'll meet around this fire. Fire is the closest physical thing we know that is, quote, there and not there at the same time, unquote. That's why it's so mesmerizing. And a bit like God, perhaps. So let's draw closer, feel his presence, and learn what he offers us through the Torah. We'll begin in the beginning, and will continue as long as your fascination remains unabated. Check out the connection group. Look for Torah, T-O-R-A-H.